Well, hello, it is time for our math warm-up. First of all, I'd like you to take a look at each one of these problems, and I want you to decide, is the product going to be greater than 7/8? So if you'd like to just write down on a piece of paper or your dry erase board, number it from 1 to 4, and you can put true or false. I bet we can do these pretty quick. So go ahead and pause your video and do that for me now. All right, so let's take a look to see how you did. If we have 7/8 times 3, which 3, of course, is a whole number, so we would most definitely have a product greater than 7/8, so that one would be true. If we have 7/8 times 2/3, that is actually not going to be greater than 7/8. 7/8 times 1 is actually equal, so technically it wouldn't be greater, so if you put a false there, that would be correct. And then our last one, 7/8 times 1 3/4, that one definitely would be larger than 7/8 because we're multiplying again by a whole number and a fraction that's pretty close to another whole. All right, so let's take a look at our math message today, which happens to be a word problem. Jane has 2 pieces of pita bread to share with her friends. If she cuts each pita into 1/4 or fourths, how many pieces of pita bread will she have to share? Use fraction circles to help solve. So again, if you want to get out those fraction circles, if you want to draw a picture, your choice. See if you can figure this out and pause your video while you do so. Okay, so if we use 2 whole fraction circles for our pita bread, this would be 1 piece of pita bread. This would be the second piece. We're going to trade those for fourths. So I'm going to get rid of this and trade it for fourths. Get rid of this one. Trade it for fourths, and we would have how many pieces of pita bread will she have to share? Well, she'll have 8 1/4 pieces. Our lesson today is fraction division, and this will be part 2, a continuation from part 1. We are going to continue developing strategies for fraction division. That is our reason for this lesson today. And we want to be able to do that by creating a story context to help us understand the whole process of division. So let's go ahead and practice. Our first problem says, Mr. Hudson bought 4 loaves of banana bread to share. If he cuts each loaf into 1/6, how many 1/6 loaf servings will he have? Okay, so what we could do for this problem, as you can see, I have 4 rectangles here that represent the 4 loaves of banana bread, and the fact that he wanted to divide them into 6. So I have divided them into 6ths, which is really hard to say. So if we total all of those up, how many 1/6 loaves would we have? We would have 24. So our problem would be 4 divided by 1/6 equals B for bread, however you want to do that. And then our actual answer would be 24 servings. So let's take a look at another number model here, or number story, I should say. We have Nina is running a 3-mile race. Race organizers put up a sign marking every 1/8 mile. How many signs did they put up? So again, this is something that you can draw a picture. You can use your fraction circles. You can just use number models, whichever is easier or makes more sense to you to do. Okay, so I have a hole for each of the miles. So we've got 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. What we're going to do is we're going to trade those in for eighths. So I will get rid of 1 mile and trade it for eighths. Get rid of another mile, trade it for eighths. Get rid of another mile and trade it for eighths. So we can figure out exactly how many of those we would have. We would have a total of 8 eighths in each one of those. And 3 times 8 would be 24. So we would have 24 signs for that problem. For this next part of our lesson, I want you to write a number story using 5 divided by 1/4. So you need to come up with your own story that you can use that equation to solve it. And of course, you get to decide if you're going to use fraction circles or a number line or a picture of some kind or just a number model. But you do have to have your story. So jot that down, see what you can come up with, and then you'll get more time in class to practice. So let's summarize this particular lesson. So what we have discovered is creating stories help us understand fraction division problems. So it gives you a better handle on what it means. We can still use number lines, pictures, fraction circles, and the relationships with multiplication and division to solve those fraction division problems, and then, of course, check them when we're finished. So, poke, poke, poke. You guys got it, right? Are you paying attention? Great. I will see you in class.